What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Bioshock Infinite! So, one of this game's patented large-scale encounters is about to break out right now as we slowly descend. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, the Vox are really pulling out all the stops on this one. Okay. Yeah, we don't actually have to fight that airship, thankfully, but it makes quite a presence up there in the sky. It's very menacing. So we're gonna hop onto the sky rails here and quickly get out of the fire here. There is quite a lot of Vox enemies here. They have all their tarps tapered all over the place, all their pennants and whatnot. And there's quite a few tears in this encounter. There's a mosquito right here. There's an oil spill down there if you wanted to use the Devil's Kiss on that. I still have my sniper rifle and rocket launcher, although I might be changing that up here pretty soon. I can, for some of these guys, especially the beasts, like this guy with the rocket launcher and the volley gun, I definitely want to get that guy in with the undertow and then vigor combo him with the shock jockey. I did double check my research, and sure enough, that actually is a valid vigor combo, that it does do additional damage and whatnot. Oh crap, they're really surrounding us already. This is getting out of hand. There's too many of these guys, too many of these beasts. And the one guy just jumped, the guy I pulled in with undertow just jumped right off the flipping roof. I don't know where he went, but again, I can quickly no-scope these guys if I have them up close, but those beasts are a lot more tough. They take multiple headshots even without their helmet. There's a volley gun over here and some more RPG ammo. I might want to save that for later. Yeah, this is getting pretty bad. There's a burst gun here, although I don't think I'd really use that. Just keep moving throughout this encounter because you definitely want to take advantage of the ability to quickly use skyline strikes. Although, like I said, they don't really do a whole lot of damage at this point because we're fighting tier 5 enemies, and you know, the melee damage is not great. So I want to finish off this beast though. This guy didn't even give a damn. He jumped right off of that sky rail. He's like, I'm getting right out of here. Luckily, there's more rocket launcher ammo nearby. Holy sweet Jesus! Okay. Oh, how the tables have turned. There is a founder handyman that just joined the encounter, and he is going to completely annihilate every Vox in this encounter. And he's going to make this about me and him. And we are welcome to the challenge. We like to fight mano a mano. And unfortunately, he has bigger hands than we do. Now, like I said, a huge disadvantage of this encounter is how there's so much open space above the ground that you have to use the sky rails to get around. But if you keep moving, you can basically keep cycling between the same like 2 points over and over again, down here and over where I just was, where I picked up the volley gun, to be able to fight this guy. And there's, like I said, quite a few tears. There's a water puddle here, which is ineffective against him because he resists lightning. There's a decoy of Booker over on the other side as well. Oh, I need to get out of here. And there's also that mosquito still spinning around in circles. Not that I really need him. Like I said, I need to get back to this point before he electrocutes the rails. And he's going to get up here pretty easily. He can make huge leaps and bounds and get up here without even any kind of effort whatsoever. But like I said, I have a volley gun so I can stun lock him in place, deal some damage, and then get out of here again. Yeah, the handyman has 12,000 health at this point in the game in tier 5, so he really means business. If I didn't say so before, actually, there is a vigor combo with... I know I didn't say so before, I don't know why I keep saying that. But there is a vigor combo with the charge and the Devil's Kiss, and I had no idea. I never really used it, because like I said, I don't really ever use the charge except for those few times that I can vigor combo with Bucking Bronco. I figure that's really all it's good for. It's just knocking an enemy off this side of the map and having him die from the fall damage or die from falling into an abyss. Not exactly from the damage itself. But that might be, from what I researched, apparently the effect is very interesting, as it does like an AoE fire attack to other enemies nearby. There's the decoy of Booker there, which I might try to use, just to have something else with a handyman to punch that's not me. But yeah, this is going pretty well so far. I have him about half health. If I can get a deathless handyman fight, I'll be very happy. Looks like I shorted him out there, which is good. Yeah, the more flawless handyman fights I can get before the end of the game, the better. There's only a handful of them left, though. No pun intended. Yeah, he's dealing so much damage to me that's going through... Oh, I need another health kit fast. He's doing so much damage through my shields, I really need to utilize these health kits to stay alive here. And that one didn't really last very long as I took a rocket to the face. I was going to say, he's taking an awful long time to get over here, and he could easily just drop in from the sky and land right on top of me. He neglected to kill one of these Vox barges over here and take out the Vox beast within it, so that's kind of aggravating. I should be able to finish him off here soon, if I can keep him stun-locked and not die. At least this game is pretty forgiving about giving you that last little bit of health. Much like in the first game, you know, if you take some damage, it doesn't outright kill you. That was one of the biggest problems I had with Singularity when I played that, is how, oh, that's where my Vigor Trap landed for the Shock Jockey when I fired it off earlier. I didn't even notice where that went. I was hoping there was health down here, but it's actually salt, and I needed that so I could get him stalled with the Murder Crows there, and that seemed to buy me some time, but I still need a lot. I still need some... Oh, thank God! That's exactly what I needed. Alright, I'm not wasting any time. I'm going to pick up 2 of those just on my full health. Alright, go with the Booker decoy. Let's see how this works. Here he comes. Man, he can jump high. This thing is not fooling around. Alright, let's let him have it. And Elizabeth has a medical kit on standby here if I need it, if he manages to get a hit in on me. I think that was a critical hit from I got from behind him there. Some flaming crows for you. Come on, almost there. Yes! Flawless handyman fight, I love it. Alright, let's see what gear drop we got. We got Tunnel Vision, which increases the damage you deal while scoped in by 25% and decreases the damage when you're scoped out by 25%. Not something I would ever want to use on a normal situation, but there's one encounter at the end of the game that I might want to use that for. Just because it's essentially the same as... I think that's the guy I tried... No, it's not the same guy I tried to use the undertow on. I don't know why he survived the handyman there, but we'll just take him out the old-fashioned way. Like I said, that's never anything I'd want to equip normally, because I almost never use the scope on the sniper rifle, and there's no other weapons that I would really like to be constantly scoped in while using. So we'll just forget about that. But the ending encounter, like I said, is going to have me almost constantly scoped in with the sniper rifle, so I will probably want to take advantage of that when it's pregnant, only because, like I said, I'm looking for as many gear drops as I can get that are going to give me benefit on sky rails or benefit with the particular weapons I'm going to be using for that encounter. And that's actually pretty good luck, all things considered, because I've really had bad luck with the ones I've been wanting to get that I got in my last test run, and they really made for some good results for the last encounter of the game. But let's not talk about that. We still have 10 videos to go before we get there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm trying to kill this Vox beast, and he keeps shooting a rocket out, and my shot ends up hitting the rocket. There we go. I deliberately missed the rocket and hit him in the head. And now that you know, the music changes and your status goes from in combat to out of combat, Elizabeth can pick this lock.
It's done.
All right, we finally got the achievement for getting a certain amount of lockpicks, or locks picked rather. Very interesting voxophone here by Lutece.
I had trapped the atom in mid-air. Colleagues called my Lutece field quantum levitation, but in fact it was nothing of the sort. Magicians levitate. My atom simply failed to fall. If an atom could be suspended indefinitely, well, why not an apple? If an apple, why not a city?
I like that line. But anyway, we're moving on now. We've got to head this way. This is technically a pretty open-ended level, and we will be backtracking a lot here. This is probably one of the most well-developed levels in the game. It's aesthetically, it's beautiful. It's very bleak and desperate, and it kind of gives you the vibe that this is the end of Columbia, kind of, you know, in this reality at least. But like I said, as soon as we transitioned to this alternate world, the game stopped being about the setting and started being about something more. So we kind of developed this disconnect from all the intriguing values that the setting added, which can be a huge detriment to some people in the game, and A lot of people don't, like myself, I don't seem to mind. See, right there is where we would normally pick up the Return to Sender Vigor, the last Vigor in the game. But we got it early, and we actually did not demonstrate it during that last encounter, which is unfortunate because that kind of defeated the purpose of me getting it early if I was never going to use it. But I figured it's cool to get it early. I might as well show it off for those of you who want to be thorough. But I'll also be showing it off now in the encounter that it's designed for, which is an encounter against more snipers. You can, see I got the full radial now. You can drop the, you can just cast it once and you can drop a shield in front of you, which will absorb a couple of shots for a few seconds. It's okay, but really I think it's best used with, if you have an enemy like a Patriot that has a lot of rapid fire, a lot of shots coming at you at once. You can hold it down and you'll absorb all of that damage and then you'll fling it back at him, which I feel like is the only real way that it's useful. It's also damn cool to watch too. So I think the primary function of this thing is just not that good. I mean, I'll use it occasionally. Here's a demonstration of the secondary function. You can actually charge this and throw this regardless if there's an enemy shooting at you or not, but it'll just consume a lot of salt. So I just really don't think the damage is worth it. In my test run, I actually got up there on the sky rails and shot those guys down without even being on the ground here. In my last test run, at least. First time through the game, I was like petrified in the corner, like, oh god, more snipers. It's like when we first arrived at the Hall of Heroes. Except not. I still have full ammo for the hand cannon, so I'm going to be dropping that sniper rifle there for that simple contextual fight, you know, and that's a demonstration of the Return to Sender. So, really, the vigors in the second half of the game are pretty lackluster compared to the first half. If you compare the Charge, the Undertow, and the Return to Sender to the Devil's Kiss, the Murder of Crows, and the Shock Jockey, or even the Bucking Bronco, they really just don't hold up. I think the Undertow is the only one that holds up, because the Undertow I would group in with those other ones as being the best ones in the game. I think they really did streamline it to where the fact that you don't have a choice of which ones you want to get, there's no customization there. The fact that you get all of them, and there's fewer of them, the more streamlined and simplified, that all of them are useful. There's another Booker decoy there. It's not like the previous Bioshock games where some of them you know you'll never use, or maybe you want to use them for like an alternate setup. There's a tear here for a freight hook you can use to get up onto these places where the snipers were and pick up their ammo if you want. Or you just want to go exploring like I do. I want to show everything off. But like I was saying, I feel like every vigor in the game is well developed and useful, and it has its appropriate balancing for combat. None of them were overtly overpowered, like the telekinesis was in the previous Bioshock games. You couldn't really exploit any of the vigors in this game. I didn't feel like, at least. But I mean, they're all good. I mean, I just feel like some of them are a little underutilized. Like the Charge is necessary for variety's sake, but it's just you're never really going to use it. But I feel like the game encourages the combos, and it does encourage, you know, using some of the older ones occasionally. And I feel like the possession is really good, and I just haven't used it due to my particular playstyle. All right, there's a two Vox down here, and there's a couple of innocents here, so I'm going to spare them. And there's a very interesting Vox one here by Lady Comstock that talks about her relationship with the man himself.
His mercy, but 40 souls lie tonight dead in unmarked graves. If a man was ever unworthy of grace, who would be my husband? But when I was beyond redemption, he offered it anyway. How can I deny forgiveness to one who with love granted it to me?
Now, as far as the audience goes, this part of the game may drag its feet a little bit for those of you watching, because I am actually going to go out of my way to explore a lot of these places in this very big open level, and it's really the game just adding value to its runtime, essentially. But like I said, the pacing as far as learning the backstory and the plot and all the characters and everything is still just as solid as it was in the previous Bioshock games. I mean, the more voxophones you find, the more you learn about the other characters in the game. This house is relevant right here. I guess it's been seized or something, and there's a crazy guy in here apparently that we're going to go ahead and kill off. And I guess there's all this stuff that's been hidden in here, and everybody's like vandalized it, and they wrote hoarder on everything. And there's a voxophone that talks about it a little bit. I think there's a gear drop up here is what I really wanted to get. This is actually a pretty good one. It's a pants where you drop off the sky rail and you inflict fire damage to all the nearby enemies in the surroundings, and that can be good. I will not use it. More than likely. But yeah, this is a very long level, and pretty soon we will have something that happens that I personally don't care for, that I feel like derails the game really bad, but the game definitely makes up for it in the long run. The combat is still solid, and once we get out of this level, the game just does not hold anything back. It goes all out until it's done, and it's wonderful. There's an encounter going to break out here with a fireman. There's quite a few like randomly placed firemen in this part of the level. Actually, it's kind of interesting. I mean, they're not random themselves, but just the placement seems kind of off. But they're not the cinematic enemy that they were at the beginning of the game. I'm going to use the possession. Actually, I think there's a Patriot over there. I want to use the possession on just to give it some more screen time and whatnot. I had to carefully line up that headshot there. That fireman should be going down pretty fast now. This is an encounter between the Founders and the Vox, which is I always love it in FPS games when there are two different factions, all AI controlled, fighting each other. I love to watch the AI fight each other, and just to see who comes out on top. Like I love watching the Flood and the Covenant fight in the first Halo. To see who wins, and then in other games like in Jak 3, or Jak 2 and 3, actually watching the Metalheads and the Crimson Guards fight each other. It's just fascinating to me to see how the AI works when the player is not involved, because obviously the player has an inherent advantage over any AI, unless you design them to be stupidly unfair. There's a couple skyhooks over here that are going to lead me to a rocket launcher, I believe. Which I already have, so I'm just picking up the ammo for it. I actually might want to skip some of these guys as I move on here. There are, like, again, there's a lot of places I'm going to be backtracking through, because you basically have to go in a circle around this entire level. Once we get to Comstock House, we have to leave. So we'll be going in a circle throughout this level, and we're going to be going back through these areas and getting anything I didn't get this time around, anything I missed. Some beautiful buildings here. I love the architecture. I love all the signs. It would be a cool place to live, this area, if it wasn't being completely destroyed or in the middle of a thunderstorm. The thunderstorm is symbolic, of course. There's a hailfire there if you want it, but I'll probably be saving it for later. Nice shot there. I think he's going to twirl around the hand cannon like a cowboy if I let him. Alright, on to Comstock House.